welcome and welcome back. I'm CrisTheGirl. Today in this video, we're starting off in the great outdoors of the backyard. First of all, it's been beautiful here in Tennessee. Like, the weather has been perfect. So why not? We're here outside, everyone. I want to talk today about food. This is something that we talk about quite a lot here on the channel. We've done some cooking together. We've done a lot of grocery shopping and hauls and stuff like that. And I've been on a nutritional journey this year. I've been really trying to focus in on my health in general, but especially my gut health, because I've noticed how much that has affected my entire life and being in general, as it does for a lot of us out there. But it's been a thing. It's been a thing here that I've been trying to work on this year. And so I figured today we'd kind of continue on that journey, but take it up to the next level, because you all, in case you are new here or in case you've missed the videos, etc., I was recently diagnosed with ADHD. And for the purposes of this video, I'm just gonna say ADHD / being neurodivergent in general, because honestly, it may be ADHD, it may be autism plus ADHD, would not be surprised, but I was not diagnosed with that, so I'm not going to say that in this video, but I suspect it. Let's just say that. So anyways, we'll just say neurodivergent / ADHD in general. But with all of that, you guys, comes, and can come, I should say, because this is just me talking from my personal perspective and from the own research that I have done, there can be a lot of food-related issues that come along with that. It can be quite a few things, from just having issues with meal prepping, meal planning, figuring out like what groceries do you need to get, what food do you want to make that week, recognizing hunger signals, like recognizing when you are actually hungry and you need to eat, as well as having issues recognizing when you're actually full and you don't need to eat anymore. You could also be somewhat of a picky eater, having issues with food textures and smells and things like that too. I gotta tell you guys, like, when I was initially looking all of this stuff up and just doing more research on it, I was like flabbergasted with how much being neurodivergent can affect the way that you eat and how much you eat and all of this stuff. So I kind of wanted to focus in on that today, talk about that a little bit more. I recently had a session with my dietitian through Nourish, which we're going to talk about a lot throughout this video. And she has helped me out a lot with figuring out how to plan ahead my meals and plan ahead my snacks and what certain things that I could focus on with like grocery shopping and just all of that stuff. So we're going to talk about all of that in detail in this video. We're going to go grocery shopping in just a sec here, and I'll give you a nice little grocery haul, and then we're actually going to do some meal prepping in this video too, which I'm really excited for, you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy it. Grab a snack, you guys. Grab a drink. I haven't said that in a while. But grab a drink and a drink and a sneak. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're dealing with a lot over here. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfy. Get cozy, because we're talking about food-related things here. Let's go. And just like that, here we are, guys. We are at the Whole Foods here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're gonna do a little bit of shopping. Chose Whole Foods because they have pretty good produce, and we're gonna be hopefully grabbing some fruit and veggies and stuff like that. So let's go in, let's do some shopping. Made it back home. Let me go ahead and show you, bless you Bella, what I got from the grocery store. Always on cue. Right on cue. Yeah, she's allergic to the camera, I think. Okay, so I'll show you the stuff outside of the bag first. Got a nice looking bushel of bananas here. Once again, went to Whole Foods specifically because they tend to have pretty good produce. I have noticed since I have started really taking my gut health seriously that my local Ingles doesn't necessarily have the best produce ever. So it's kind of been a struggle to get fresh, like good looking things. So for me, I kind of have to do a little trek to get to a place that has good looking produce. So that's why we were at Whole Foods basically for the most part. So anyways, long story to say, I got a nice bushel of bananas here, and I am really super excited, you guys, because my parents are here in Tennessee officially now. I know Bob is like, my stepdad Bob is like the same way that I am with bananas. Like he prefers them a certain way, like the exact certain way that I do. So he can help me eat these bananas, and hopefully they won't join the other very decrepit looking bananas that I have over here. Moving onwards, I got some pretzels, these pretzel flats here, went with the Whole Foods brand, and they were pretty good. I already opened them and snacked on them on the way home. I also got another big bag here of apples. They didn't have the pink ladies that I kind of prefer, but I do like Honeycrisp as well. So got a nice bag of these. I like the smaller apples. Personally, I feel like it's a better kind of snack option. I got a tiny little container of salad here as well. This is a 50-50 blend baby spinach and spring mix. Looks pretty good. I got a smaller box because we're getting into a very, very busy week here for us. We're gonna start moving here very soon, and I know that it's just gonna be a hectic week. So I don't want to like pressure myself into making a bunch of salads and stuff and using up all the lettuce and whatever. So I just got a little box. If I want to get more, I can always get more. I also saw these protein bars, the Aloha brand. Let me know if you've ever tried these before. I never have, but my dietitian recommended this brand. She said it was a really good one, and it's plant-based protein bars. So I got a chocolate mint one and a blueberry one, and Tampa J made a very good point because I had a box. I had a whole box of the chocolate mint protein bars, which was not inexpensive, BT dubs. And then he was like, look, they have individual ones. Maybe you should just, you know, try one or two to make sure you like it first before you buy a whole box. I was like, that's a really good idea. Thank you for being here. The protein bars, by the way, I kind of mentioned this in a previous video not too long ago, but I've kind of been getting back into protein bars. Like, these are such a great thing to just slip in my purse. And then whenever I'm feeling kind of like a low blood sugar crash or anything like that, I can just pull this out and eat it pretty quickly. Or sometimes, you know, there's some mornings here where it's go, 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 and I don't really have time to make a breakfast, prepare something, whatever. I can at least get a protein bar in me before I have my coffee and all of that stuff. Moving along, we have 2 tomatoes here, a bag of broccoli, and also a little bag here of cucumbers. All right, final stretch of stuff here. So I got a nice carton of strawberries. These actually look really good. Once again, no offense, Ingles, but your produce ain't that great, or at least the one near me, it's not that great. So stoked to have strawberries. It's been very, very difficult finding good looking strawberries specifically. I got a brick of cheese here. It's the Tillamook kind, extra sharp cheddar. We're gonna be chopping this up in a sec too. And then also, final thing I'll show you here, but I got some string cheese too. So we got options with the cheese, and I feel like that is also going to help. So I'm gonna put the food away, and then we will get started on doing some meal prepping. Okay, we're gonna finally get started here. So I think I'm gonna start by boiling some eggs. I need this cutting board out too. All right, filled up my pot here with some water. Turn the stove up to high. Perfect. Now we'll just wait on that. And then I think while we're waiting for the water to boil here, I'm going to actually wash some of these apples. I'm gonna wash some of these apples and then I'm gonna put them in a bowl and then I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator. So basically, I wanna make this process as easy as possible for myself. So when I want an apple in the morning or as a snack or whatever it may be, all I have to do is grab one out of this bowl from the fridge, and I will still have to cut it up, unfortunately, because I like to cut up my apples. I don't like to just bite into it because I like eating them with sunflower butter personally. So I'll still have to cut them up, but I can at least wash them. Like, I'm trying to think here, you guys. I'm trying to think of any kind of steps that I can take to make getting snacks and making lunch, dinner, etc. as easy as possible. Like when I first started with Nourish and with my dietitian and whatnot, like that first week or two was like really good. Like I was on top of it, you know, making all of these healthy meals. Like I was really on track. And then it kind of just slowly got more and more difficult for me. Listen, every person who has ADHD or is just neurodivergent, whatever the case may be, no one person is going to look exactly the same. Like everyone's going to have their own kind of characteristics to it and such. So I really am just going to be speaking to myself here. I am definitely one of those people who can hyperfixate on a food, on a certain lunch, on a certain breakfast. Like if I really, really like something and it sits well in my tummy and it's relatively easy to make and it's tasty and all of that stuff, I will eat that same thing. Again, whether it's a one singular food item or a whole meal or whatever it is, I will eat that same thing day after day after day, or like every other day or whatever, until I am so sick of it. I never want to eat it ever again. Like I am kind of that way right now with like sweet potatoes and avocados. Like there was a point in time where I was just eating that stuff nonstop. And now I've done it so much to the point where it's like, this is not appealing to me anymore whatsoever. I sat down with my dietitian and she was like, let's do an exercise here. And basically it was a word association kind of exercise. And the word that she had me do a word association with was meal planning. So basically I wrote down meal planning equals, and then for the next 30 seconds, I wrote down the first thoughts that came to my brain whenever I thought of meal planning. And when we initially did the exercise at the beginning of our session, I was like, meal planning is, I have it right here. Meal planning equals decisions, nutritious, deliberate, complicated, undecided, and overwhelming. That's what I wrote down. I think my thought process behind it was like, okay, meal planning, meal options. That means making decisions. That means trying to find something that is nutritious, that is good for me. It means being deliberate about my choices and not being so like kind of willy-nilly with things. That kind of led me into complicated. Overwhelming. It just gets to be a lot for me to think about personally, and then I just get so decision fatigue is kind of what they call it, but I just get so overwhelmed by all of the options and yet not feeling inspired by any of the options that I just kind of shut down and give up on it all. We kind of worked through that a little bit. This is going to be a work in progress, obviously. We decided that the best thing for us to do to at least carry me forward for the next, a few weeks here or whatever, is to figure out some easy, basic meals that I can figure out, on my own when I'm feeling that decision fatigue. It's not meal planning or prepping per se. It's more so finding the meal pattern, which I love. I love the whole idea of that. Because for me, meal planning is just like so, again, like kind of complicated for me. It's just a lot for me to think of and a lot for me to be like, okay, Monday we're gonna have this, Tuesday we're gonna have this, Wednesday we're gonna have this. And it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna feel like eating those foods on that particular day. You know, like that's why I've never really looked into meal planning too much before. Again, having learned about the ADHD and stuff like that, I know that I need to do things to make my life as easy as possible, whatever the case may be. And thankfully, my dietitian came up with a lot of really good ideas for me to do that. And thus, we are here pre-cleaning apples to, again, just take any small steps that we can to make snack options and meal options just as simple as possible. It seems kind of silly and like small steps here to like just wash your fruit. You know, if you want an apple, grab the apple, wash the fruit, cut it up, get your sunflower butter and move on with your day. Or like, for example, making a smoothie. You know, you have your blender, you put all your stuff in, yeah, make a smoothie. It's really not that complicated. But for me, I see just 1,000 little itty bitty steps that I have to do to get to the end point of having that smoothie. You know, I have to pull the blender out from underneath the cabinet here. I have to get the little fiddly bits all connected with the blender. I have to make sure it's clean. I have to get all the ingredients out of the fridge. I have to decide what kind of smoothie I want. Clean it eventually. And it's just all of these little micro steps that, again, it's not in theory on paper complicated, but for me, it feels like just this one little chore now feels like this big massive thing. I am really trying to eat. Is the water? Oh, the water's boiling. Let's go over here. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Nourish. If you're anything like me, then to say you're busy would be an understatement. I am constantly on the go trying to accomplish as much as I can every single day, and that unfortunately often means that I am neglecting my nutritional health. Thankfully though, I have been using Nourish for a number of months now, which makes staying on track so much easier. Nourish is one of the easiest and most convenient ways to sit down with a registered dietitian and receive helpful, holistic, lifelong skills with whatever your nutrition-related needs may be. From weight-related goals to meal planning assistance with chronic illnesses, food allergies, and even help with budgeting, meal prepping, grocery shopping, Nourish has you covered. Me personally, as a vegetarian who has IBS, who has ADHD, I am 100% not ashamed to say that I have struggled with food-related issues basically my entire life. And it's always been a goal of mine to sit down with a registered dietitian and just get some extra assistance with meal planning and ideas for meals and snacks and such. Thankfully, Nourish was super easy to sign up for. It took less than 5 minutes to put in my information and goals, and soon I was matched up with a registered dietitian. What's also amazing about Nourish is that they take most insurance plans. 94% of patients pay $0 out of pocket. Every meeting with my dietitian conveniently takes place via Zoom, and it's very easy to set up appointments that fit well with my busy schedule. And I love my dietitian. She's been so kind, so helpful, and she never makes me feel ashamed with my various struggles. She helps me focus on small goals and small steps. That way I don't feel so overwhelmed with it all. And even after my first initial consultation with her, I left that meeting with a whole meal plan and grocery list, as well as a lot more information about gut health in general. And with the help of the Nourish app, tracking meals has become so much easier. I love that all I have to do is snap a picture of what I'm eating, and the app automatically lists out the ingredients, the serving size, the nutritional information, and it also has Apple Health integration, which makes tracking sleep and exercise, etc. so much easier. So if you're ready to start taking your nutritional goals to the next level, definitely check out Nourish using my link down in the description box below. Starting your health journey is only 5 minutes away, and thank you so much to Nourish for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty. Get out the eggs. I'm gonna have to put the vent on. Sorry, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna turn off the heat here. Get a spoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lid back on, and we'll start with 5 boiled eggs for now. And I'll set the timer for, I'm gonna do 12 minutes. All right, next up here, I'm gonna cut the cheese, oh no. And I'm sorry, but I have to keep the vent on because Tampa J does not like the smell of boiled eggs, unfortunately. So what I was saying earlier is that I'm trying to eat earlier in the day because seriously, if I don't consciously think about it, it's not gonna be until like 1, 2 p.m. that I actually put something in my stomach. And that has not been helpful for me whatsoever. So it's a whole thing. Again, I've talked about it many times on the channel, the recent videos here. But it is a goal of mine to eat earlier in the day. So I'm hoping that by doing this and just taking a day, like twice a week or whatever, to do some meal prepping like this will really help me out a lot. There's definitely times where, actually a lot of the time, honestly, like I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but there's a lot of times when like it's too late. Like it is too late. My blood sugar is crashing, and I'm sorry, but the last thing that I really want and can do at that moment is pull out a blender and get all of this stuff like organized and ready to go. Like I just need to put something in my stomach immediately at that point. So I'm trying really hard, you guys, to avoid stuff like that. So I'm just pre-cutting this cheese into little cubes here. This is gonna be really good protein for me. I love cheese. We all know this. It is a fact of life. I'm just only gonna do this much here, and I'm gonna save this for the rest of the time. I don't feel the need to completely cut the entire thing right now. Oh yeah, that's really good. Really good. All right, next up here, I'm going to rinse off some of the strawberries. And I remember doing this as a kid. Like, we would get strawberries and the first thing we would do is rinse them off once we got home. I've heard like conflicting things about it because like it makes sense to me. Obviously they're rinsed, they're all ready to go, ready to be eaten. But I also hear that it makes them get moldy like quicker, sooner. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go ahead and rinse them all anyway and see what happens. Because we're trying, again, to make my life as easy as possible. And so if I don't have to go through the rigmarole once again of rinsing off my fruit and all of that stuff, I'm gonna be a lot more inclined to reach for these strawberries in the future. I'm going to be putting together a little snack box, which I should have mentioned earlier because that's kind of the whole point of everything that we're doing right now is putting together a little bento snack box. Alrighty guys, the egg should be done. So I have my bowl of ice water here. I'm just going to very carefully put them in there. Stop the cooking process. I love boiled eggs. Honestly, probably my favorite kind of egg to consume. And lately, like the past week or so, I've had a lot of boiled eggs on salads, kind of randomly. And it's been so good, so good. So I'm really looking forward to using these boiled eggs in salads moving forward. Also just eating them as is, like for breakfast and such. Like I said, we're only doing 5 here because I want to make sure that these get eaten. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that they get eaten. And so I figure I can do this kind of meal prepping thing like twice a week maybe. So we'll see. We're getting started with this. We're just getting started with this. We'll see how far these 5 eggs get us for now. So I'm gonna let them sit here for just a sec and then we will peel them. All right, look at that timing. Tampa J just brought this in for me. So I ordered a couple of things, yes, from Amazon, sorry about it, to kind of help me with this process here of meal prepping. So I went ahead and got one of those vegetable chopper, guys. Hopefully this guy will work out okay. It does a bunch of different things, which honestly, like, I would just be happy if it just chopped the vegetables. Like, having all the little, again, fiddly bits, like the different kinds of like mandolins and whatever, blades and stuff. Just, again, it gets a little overwhelming for me personally, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We could put one blade in there and call it a day. But the point is that one of the incredibly helpful tips that my dietitian gave me, that, like, duh, like, what's not clicking up here? Investing in tools that will make my life easier. Seems like kind of a no-duh kind of thing, right? But she mentioned, like, you could get a vegetable chopper like this. So instead of me sitting there chopping the tomatoes and potatoes and like all of that stuff, I can just get one of these guys and plop and it's done. You know, sometimes, again, for me, like, the thought of having to make this whole big meal and having to sit and chop the vegetables, chop the tomatoes, whatever, it makes me not want to do it. So I'm hoping that something like this will make that easier for me, get me a little bit more motivated to chop the vegetables and such. And I figure too, like, it doesn't have to be a thing that I use all the time, always. Because there is also a side of me that's like, cooking and making a meal and like slowly chopping the vegetables and stuff can be very therapeutic and meditative as well. So I don't know, I see the benefits of both, but I definitely need something that is going to be like super quick. The other thing that she recommended was, instead of having this big dang fancy blender that I have, get like a really small little one, like a $20 one or whatever, that's just like a battery operated smoothie maker thing. And that just kind of simplifies the process. You know, there's a lot less stuff that I have to clean and pull out of the cabinet and this and that. Like, all of a sudden this big chore ends up being like something that's not really that big of a deal. So she's given me a lot of stuff to think about in that respect. You know, I don't want to like start spending money on like all of these like little appliances and whatever, but I think that there are certain things that I could invest in that will make all of this a lot easier for me. So the other thing that I got from Amazon are these really super cute little bento boxes. And we're gonna be using these snack boxes. We're gonna fill these guys up with our cheese and fruit and veggies and eggs. So that's kind of the main goal for today, is getting these prepped and ready to go. So I'm gonna have you zoomed in here because I kind of feel like this is gonna be like really satisfying, you know? Peeling eggs. All right, so just about ready to start assembling our little snack boxes here, but I'm gonna cut up this cucumber really quick first, because I'm gonna put this in there to include. At least we have something green in the snack boxes, you know. And I'm just chopping this one up by hand. Sometime we can play around with the food chopper thing. But for right now, I'm just doing this because we're already going through all of this work to put our snack boxes together. So might as well just do something by hand, you know what I mean? I am thinking of tonight and what I want to make for dinner. And I think what I want to do is like a loaded baked potato and a salad. So I'm definitely going to be using some of these cucumbers. I'm going to use one of the eggs. I want to cut up one of the tomatoes that I got. I personally love baked potatoes as a dinner option, like a baked potato and salad and such. It's so good. But it does take a little bit of like forethinking because you have to preheat the oven and then it takes a minute in the oven. Like almost an hour to make. So it's not a quick and easy like kind of thing to do, but I still really like to do it. And I know that it is a thing that you could also meal prep. Like you could make a bunch of baked potatoes ahead of time. I'm a little weird about that kind of stuff. There's not a whole lot of stuff that I don't know. I'm weird about the concept of like freezing things and then thawing them out and reheating them and like all of that. Like I hesitate to say food anxieties around it, but I just, it's not my thing. It's not my favorite thing to do. So I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can, but I want to say it as an option. You know, if you also like baked potatoes and stuff, that's such a great like vessel to hold all kinds of different things, veggies and protein and stuff like that. Like I was, again, talking to my dietitian about it, and she was like, yeah, baked potatoes, that's a great option, especially if you pair it with, you know, like a salad and top it off with a bunch of really yummy veggies and whatever. So that's kind of the plan that I was thinking for tonight. I think we're ready to assemble our boxes now. Okay, we have our cute little bento boxes. So I'm not obviously counting all of this stuff out, pre-proportioning it or whatever. Like I'm just gonna eyeball it because that's not of importance to me. But obviously if it is for you, then you should do that. And my thought behind doing snack boxes like this, I mean, this is what I need. You guys, like this is what I need, is like just something that I can grab out of the fridge that I can either one, eat for breakfast, and you know, while I'm putting on my makeup or doing my hair or whatever it is, I can just grab this out of the fridge and eat all of this stuff that's already prepared for me, or I can take it with me on the road, you know, if we're Halloween decor shopping and such. Then I can get a little lunch box, which I already have one. I just gotta find it. You know, a little cooler or whatever. I can keep this in the cooler and then I can pop this out, eat my snacks while we're on the go. So that's my thought process behind this. This is literally exactly what I need because I am not always home to prepare lunches and prepare a dinner. And even when I am home, sometimes I don't have the time to prepare a whole, you know, snack, lunch, whatever. So just having something very quick, very easy, it's all done, it's ready to go. Just open up the tin and eat it. That's exactly what I need. I'm gonna put an egg in each one. So saving one egg for my salad for tonight. Get our cheese, and I think I'll put it in one of the little containers. You can hear the mowing sounds outside. That's Jay mowing the lawn. And then I'll grab some strawberries here. These are they look so good. They look so good. I'm not going to bother cutting off the little tops of them. I'm just gonna leave them as is. Maybe sometime I can invest in like a little berry container or something that I can keep in the fridge. I don't know. 4 strawberries each, that's good. Still got 4 left. And then finally, I'm going to include some pretzels. These are pretty good, by the way. The Whole Foods brand, not bad. Oops. Oh, I rinsed off the eggs, by the way. I did that off camera. Get all the excess little shells and stuff out. And I do believe we are all set. So here are the snack boxes in all of their glory. Looks delicious. I want to eat one right now. We're gonna hold off, but I'm definitely gonna eat one tomorrow. It's literally gonna be perfect for tomorrow. So I'm excited, you guys. I'll put the lids on them. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with these. Oh god, all my pretzels are being crushed. All right, I have to say I'm pretty impressed with these. They feel very like airtight, so I really like these. And if I think of it, I'll link them down below for you guys. Not affiliated or anything, but I don't know. I think that these are going to work out really well. The real question is going to be, though, where do these go? In the new place that we're moving to, I think we're actually gonna have 2 refrigerators, one in the garage and one, you know, well, in the kitchen. I guess that goes without saying. There we go. Do that. Then we'll put this one just up front. All right, that'll do for now. I put my apples in here as well, my strawberries. Right there. Also, I almost forgot to mention this, but one of the meal items that she suggested that would be really easy, it could be something that you can make ahead of time too, are some egg bites. There's a lot of recipes out there, seems pretty dang simple to do, and I don't think I would really have much of a problem like freezing them and reheating them. Like I'd be willing to try it, is what I'm trying to say. And I contemplated doing that for this video. However, we did just buy this box of egg white bites from Sam's. And again, talked about this in a recent video, but these are so good. They're so good. And we have an air fryer and it takes like 9 minutes to make one of these guys. So it really doesn't get much simpler than that. So that's a good option. And once we go through this box, maybe at some point in a video in the future we can make some egg bites together. I think that could be really fun. Again, there's a ton of different recipes out there, so we can definitely do that in the future. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap up the video here on the back porch. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time. I feel so much better having prepared for at least some of the week ahead. As I said, it's going to be pretty busy for us. This week we're signing the lease on the new place, getting the keys, we're gonna start moving. Like, it is gonna be busy, busy, busy over here. So knowing in the back of my brain that snacks and breakfast and, you know, meals and such are basically not completely taken care of for sure, but a lot of the guesswork, a lot of it is taken care of, or at least made as easy as possible. Like, just that fact alone makes me feel a lot less stressed than I was before. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys out there. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, not just if you have ADHD or if you're neurodivergent or whatever, but also if you're just a busy person in general. A lot of us are out there just really busy, don't have that much time to, you know, prepare all these big meals and this and that. I hope that this was helpful for you and maybe gives you like a couple of ideas of stuff that you can do moving forward to make your life a little bit easier. And yeah, just once again, big, huge thank you to Nourish for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you check out the link. It is going to be down below in the description box for you. Check out Nourish, you guys. It's helped me out so much. Again, I'm going on like 3 months now of using their service, and it has just been such a huge help in my life. So I'm just really excited to be working with them again. And yeah, make sure you check out the link down below in the description box. So thank you all again for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are doing well out there. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all in the next one.